The Galactic Council had seen empires rise and fall, but never anything like her. When humanity's first ambassador met a predator race bred for war, everyone expected blood. Instead, something far stranger happened. A tiny alien cub bit her boot, and the human didn't strike back. She simply tapped its nose. What followed stunned the galaxy. The cub rolled over in joy. A single gentle act shattered millennia of fear, rewriting what strength meant across the stars. If that moment gave you chills, hit like and subscribe for more incredible HFY stories where humans don't just survive. They redefine what it means to be powerful. Your support helps more people discover these legendary tales of humanity's quiet, unstoppable courage. And hey, drop a comment below. What do you think true strength looks like? The Galactic Council had seen countless worlds rise and burn, but none puzzled them more than Earth. Now, standing aboard Celestial Harmony, humanity's first diplomatic vessel beyond the Sol system, Ambassador Ari felt the weight of that mystery. Through the transparent viewport, colors rippled across the nebula of Sector 7, hues no human language had names for. Her mission? Meet the Rex Collective, a civilization of reptilian predators that had conquered 12 star systems through sheer dominance. No peace treaty had ever been signed with their kind. When the doors hissed open, the atmosphere changed. Commander Thexval stepped through, nearly 8 feet tall, scales glinting emerald under the lights. His presence radiated control, the kind earned through fear. Behind him, his officers followed, each more imposing than the last. But then came something unexpected, a tiny creature at his feet. Barely 2 feet tall, its brown scales soft with youth, the cub's golden eyes darted everywhere with reckless curiosity. Ari smiled. "So that's the infamous warrior race," she whispered. Little did she know, the fate of 2 species would shift not through battle, but through that curious little cub. Thexval's voice rumbled like thunder as he greeted her. "Ambassador Ari, humanity arrives at last." She smiled, extending her hand in the human way, a gesture of trust. But the Rex didn't shake hands. Their version of trust was to bare their throats, exposing the most vulnerable part of their body. To them, it was sacred. To offer it meant surrender. Thexval didn't. He only watched, his tail twitching in quiet warning. Then, before anyone could blink, a blur of brown scales darted forward. The cub. Tiny claws clattered across the deck. It lunged and bit down hard on Ari's boot. The room froze. Every officer tensed. Hands hovered near weapons. Even Thexval's eyes narrowed. To attack an ambassador, even by accident, was an insult that demanded blood for blood, but Ari didn't flinch. She simply looked down at the small creature gnawing on reinforced leather, its little jaw trembling with effort. She crouched slowly, lowering herself until her eyes met its bright golden ones. And then she smiled. No panic, no fear, just curiosity. Around her, the silence thickened. Predators waited for violence. But Ari, she was about to teach them something no one in that room had ever seen. The cub stared up at her, still gripping her boot like a miniature predator defending its prey. Ari's voice softened. "Hey, easy there." And then she did the unthinkable. She reached out and gently tapped the cub's nose. It wasn't a strike, not even a scolding. Just a soft, human gesture that said no without cruelty. Every Rex in the room froze. Thexval's claws scraped his holster, ready to draw. To touch the commander's offspring was unthinkable. To correct it, unforgivable. But then, the cub blinked. Its tiny body trembled, and, slowly, unbelievably, it rolled over onto its back. Gasps rippled through the delegation. The little predator's tail wagged against the metal floor, thumping like a heartbeat. A sound emerged from its throat, a soft, chirping purr that no Rex had ever heard before. Thexval's officers looked on in disbelief. The cub wasn't showing submission. It was playing. Ari smiled, scratching gently at its soft-scaled belly. "You're not dangerous," she whispered. "You're just a baby." Thexval lowered his weapon, eyes wide with something between confusion and awe. For the first time in his life, he saw gentleness overpower fear. Thexval had seen wars burn entire moons. He'd fought creatures that breathed plasma and shattered armor, but never had he seen his son act like this. Cain, the cub born of warriors, was now wriggling under the human's hand, chirping like a harmless hatchling. His golden eyes were full of joy, no fear, no submission, just trust. Ari looked up, meeting Thexval's stunned gaze. "On Earth," she said softly, "we learned something a long time ago." She rose to her feet, brushing her uniform sleeve. The wrecked soldiers still hadn't moved. "Strength isn't about how hard you can strike," she continued. "It's about knowing when not to." Her voice wasn't loud, but in that silence, it echoed like thunder. Cain pressed against her leg, his little claws clinging to her fabric as if to stay near her warmth. Ari smiled and added, "The strong protect. The strong teach. The strong don't rule by fear. They earn loyalty through trust." Thexval's tail went still. For the first time, the great commander had no words. In that single human moment, centuries of Rex tradition cracked, and something new, something dangerous, something beautiful, began to take its place. Ari gently lifted the cub from her leg, holding him at eye level. Cain chirped again, tail wagging, eyes full of warmth that no weapon could forge. She smiled. "The strong don't take power," she said quietly. "They're given it. By those who trust them." She handed Cain back to his father. But the cub squirmed, reaching toward her again, tiny claws grasping the air in protest. A sound of longing escaped him, a sound that silenced the warship. Thexval held his son close. Something unfamiliar stirred in his chest, an ache that felt like respect, or perhaps something deeper. He looked at this fragile, fearless human, and finally understood why the Galactic Council watched Earth with such fascination. For humanity didn't conquer by claws or blades. They conquered hearts. Thexval took one step forward, and in a motion unseen in Rex history, the warlord lowered his head, baring his throat to her. Gasps filled the chamber. It was not surrender. It was reverence. Ari bowed in return, calm, steady, her voice a whisper that carried through the stars. "Then let this be the first act of peace." And in that moment, the galaxy learned that sometimes mercy roars louder than war.